Hey guys, welcome to my recap of the Ferocious Cup that I did in Townsville last month. Sorry it's taken me so long to get this video out. I've just had a bit of a shocker, getting through a lot of stuff, went away. Sorry, apologies about that. So first up we've got Vetrix 101 here. This is the first time she's entered a PvP tournament. Her brother tried to help her out a little bit with the team. So she had some of the meta picks like Alolan Ninetails and Alolan Sandslash. The others were a little bit interesting. I personally think Raichu is better than Alolan Raichu, just because it doesn't have that ability to get smashed by dark moves, which a lot of people carrying in Umbreon. But anyway, that's alright. So the first battle here, she burns most of her shields almost straight away, and you can see I still have 2 shields here. So we do make a little bit of quick work here of poor Vetrix, but for a very first time battling, I think she did really well. It is hard to come in, and you'd hope that you'd face somebody somebody else who hasn't battled before. But yeah, she's come up against a seasoned veteran here, so that's unfortunate. Obviously, we get a great lead here. Nidoqueen into Ninetales. Have to shield this one up, but then after that, we've got the win. Ice Beam there, so likely she doesn't have second moves on some of these Pokemon. Is an expensive thing getting into PvP, so I didn't bother with the second move on my Nidoqueen. Just went with Earth Power, and as you can see there, Nidoqueen is just running rampant through here. And this was a fairly standard thing I did. I had a lot of Ninetales and Larion throughout these fights, and they did really well. Obviously, Ninetales, if you get it up against Umbreon, it's going to rip through it. And a lot of neutral matches it can do pretty well too. So here we don't get as positive a matchup. Still going to do enough that we're confident that we'll come out with the win in this match, but not as much as if we had Bibarel out there. That's okay. So we'll just keep throwing these Earth Powers. Eventually one of them will land, or she's going to waste all of her shields. So all shields down here. I'm hoping to get to another Earth Power, and we do. So if she had have had Ice Punch on that Alolan Sandslash, it definitely would have been a very, very much more positive win. So obviously this is going to kill and go down, but we've got Larion in the back who goes to work on this Ninetales. And yeah, that's it. It's GG. So thanks, Vetrix. I hope you had a good tournament, and we'll see you for Timeless Cup. So now we're up against RhysJD. So if you guys have watched any of the other Townsville videos, Rhys is a very, very good PvPer. We obviously don't get the lead we want here, so we quickly switch out to our Ninetales, hoping we can just get a bit of work done. Now he switches here into his Piloswine, which is very interesting, because Alolan Raichu was almost dead, but now he's given up that switch advantage, with me having a bit more on the timer. So I was happy to let Ninetales go, and then get to work on the Larion. So we get one shield out of him. I don't have to shield any of Piloswine's moves here, so an Avalanche does a bit. An Avalanche is a very hard hitting attack, but Larion is capable. So Bibarel is obviously going to absolutely water types are going to rip through him. But we switch out, hoping to burn a shield here with his Surf. Oh, sorry. I should have just gone straight for the Hyper Fang, but that's alright. We'll get there just with fast attacks. That's why. Wanted to make sure I had an attack in the back for Raichu, just in case he came in and threw straight away like a Thunder Punch or a Wild Charge. So we win the first match against Rhys, which I'm stoked about. And we get in, and again, we don't have a very favourable lead now. It's kind of close. I guess if we waste a lot of shields, we can get the win. However, we choose not to. Now, a lot of people are likely to burn a shield on the Umbreon, so we went for the Hyper Fang, but yeah, Rhys did. So he called that one. So we're hoping to get to another Hyper Fang, but we decided to bail and go with the Surf. Just get a bit of that chip damage in, and lucky we did, because we had another foul play coming straight into our face here. So we'll get to work and we automatically switch out because we know we're going to cop a lot of damage. Now Ninetails with the gyro balls that can come through. So we'll just bait him there, which is perfect. So now all shields are down. So Larion just needs to hit with one rock throw, and then that will take care of the Sand Slash. And he's got Umbreon left with a little bit of health. Oh, sorry, Bibarel. Ooh, I misplayed this. So I've got to take that Bibarel down. So I think this is only a Surf. No, Hyper Fang. Oh, so we're in a bad way here. So we really need Psyshock to KO, and then, oh, fortunately he didn't have any stored energy. Even a foul play would have killed us there. So that's the win. So we get into match 3 and we nail this lead. I think Rhys was a bit upset. I think in the last one he had the energy and it didn't throw the move. So always frustrating. So yeah, we'll now just go through the motions. I don't think we bother using really too many shields or anything. No, we do. Never mind. It was just I think it was a misclick on the switch there. You probably didn't want to switch into that Raichu, but that's all right. So we've got Ninetales v Ninetales, and we just get to the Psyshock. Burns his last shield, and we've got one shield, and we've got a Larion in the back and a Nidoqueen. So we are done and dusted here. It's another one. Thanks, Rhys. That was a good game. Really unfortunate about that charge move not coming off in that second match. Oh, now we're up against Takkori. So yeah, interesting team here. It was two Charm, the double Charm users. I wasn't sure if that was just a fake out or if she was actually going to run that. Either way, Larion was going to be a mainstay for me, for either Ninetales or Granbull, whichever one she popped in. And we know Larion can do fairly well even against Umbreon in the if we have a shield advantage. So silly, this was the biggest mistake I made, not shielding that Earth Power. If I had shielded up, he would have thrown the Rock Tomb, and without, yeah, anyway, I'm fairly sure we would have won that one. We had got rid of the Nidoking. It was a little bit silly on my part. And then we are left with Ninetales versus Alolan Sandslash without shields. It's never gonna be nice. So we lose the first match to Mel, or Takkori, sorry, if Mel is her real name. Then we get Granbull versus Ninetales. So this is where you see that Ninetales is the supreme charm user. So she gets out of there. Now we wanted to switch there into Bibarel, but for some reason it threw our Psyshock, but not ideal, but we'll come back from that, hopefully. So yeah, we know Bibarel in a completely fresh match beats Sandslash, so she's keeping all of her shields here, which is very interesting play for this last Pokemon. We only have one, so she's got Nidoqueen, Ninetales, but Larion doesn't have to use any shields, so he can just fast attack down. And then we catch the lead here again, so Larion absolutely working on these charm users. We do need to be wary of Granbull's close combat. So she burnt her shield, so assuming she's gone up to a close combat and then bailed. So we'll happily keep Larion in here against Nidoking. Now we know he's got Earth Power, so this time we're not a moron and we do shield, and that'll be enough to get through. We'll finish it off with a Body Slam. Got a bit of extra energy there built up. So back comes in Sandslash, so throw the Rock Tomb, get that last shield out. Oh no shield, goes unshielded. Interesting. So now we only have Nidoqueen and Alolan Ninetales left, so we are going to have a bit of a tough time against this Sandslash. And she burns the last shield, which is a very, very good move. But we're going to keep all of these shields here for this Nidoqueen. Oh, Nidoqueen. I keep saying Nidoqueen. Ninetales. So we guessed right, it was an Ice Punch. She was just going for the bait, and then we can just charm Granbull down. We had the shield there, so she knew she wasn't going to get through. Now, another first time PvP here, we've got Scotchilicious. Now, Scott was actually the guy who traded me in the last cup for the Dusclops. So yeah, thanks. And now Scott's maybe looking at getting into PvP. He had a really, really good tournament. He went 4-1 in his first PvP tournament. So obviously he's a good player, he knows what he does well, and that's grind. So Scott has like 21 or 22 million Stardust last time I saw. But the one thing he didn't quite have was he didn't have his Umbreon quite set up correctly, so it didn't have Snarl. So he wasn't going to generate that energy just super fast. As you can see here, Larion is charging up energy seemingly faster than an Umbreon, which is a little bit odd. And he switched into Ninetales. Now, I think that was a misclick. I hope that was a misclick on his part, because obviously, yeah, you don't want to go into that matchup. Larion is there for Ninetales in my team especially, and yeah, I'll keep bringing him out the rest of the night. He's my workhorse, that Larion. You can see he gets the job done there. So second round coming up against Scott, and it's kind of I thought it was a good lead, but then he's got Bone Club, so I wanted to see how much it did, and it does a lot. So we are not doing so well now, but then he lets it go through as well. So we can see Rock Throw does more than Bone Club. So we'll happily let him go down. We'll charge a bit of energy on Bibarel, and we'll see if we get this Umbreon again. Now I was thinking about a switch into Ninetales, but let the energy go. Actually, I think that was an accident. I think I was trying to switch and it did the attack again. So now we've got Nidoqueen against our Ninetales. This isn't an ideal situation, but now we've burnt both his shields, which is great. So Bibarel can just charge up a heap of energy. Now we're gonna have to shield this, but we know Poison Jab doesn't do very much to us. So once we get these two Earth Powers out of the way, and we'll just keep charging that energy. Now this is where I made a tactical error. I should have probably just thrown two Surfs, because I'm going to struggle to get to the second one. Very luckily, if he had have had Snarl there, I would have lost. And Scott was actually saying to me after the match that he was hitting Dark Pulse, is that what he had? Anyway, and yeah, it just didn't go off. So he was a bit frustrated because he would have won that match. But that's alright. So switch now. Third match, he switches into Vaporeon, which is obviously a good move. I probably should have switched out of Nidoqueen, but I'm happy to sacrifice Nidoqueen because I know I've got my Larion in the background. So a lot of people aren't really thinking someone's going to bring two charm counters. So if you once one's down there, they're confident that their Ninetales is safe. Sometimes they'll switch into it, and when they switch into it, then you can switch to either your Larion or Ninetales or whatever your counter was. So yeah, I was pretty chuffed that little strat. Now we've got Umbreon left, but we've got two shields. So Larion's going to go to town here, just charging energy, throw on these Rock Throws. We've got to get to one more. And again, I think this is potentially where not having that Snarl costs Scott. He probably would have got at least to a third Dark Pulse or Faint Attack, whichever he chooses to bring. So yep, we get the win there. So now we're 4-0, and we're coming up against our last but not least, so Zephy6. We often meet towards the end of these tournaments. He's a great player. I beat him in the Sinister Cup, and now we'll see how we go in the Ferocious Cup. So again, I don't get an ideal lead here, and as you seem to do when you're a bit more on edge, you're more willing to use a shield when you know you probably shouldn't. So you can see Zephy held on to his shield from the first Rock Throw. He's going to shield up because I've wasted a shield, and he knows he's in front. So I'm going to essentially try and let my Larion go. Would have been awesome, and we just get to another body slam. So it's not going to do very much damage, but we get the shield, so that was the best result possible for us. We were never gonna kill it, but yeah, getting that shield is really good. So Zephy elects to keep switch advantage and not change out of his Umbreon. I'm fairly confident with, even though Psyshock's going to be not doing a lot of damage, we get the win. Changed into Bibarel, yeah, maybe. No, yeah, it's hard. It's one of those hard things. What do you do? So we get the Hyper Fang, and if we had hit that Surf, we would have won. No, sorry, what am I saying? We did get the Surf, so we do win, which is great. So we win the first round against Zephy 6, and then we come in, and if Larion versus Umbreon was a bad matchup, Raichu is an even worse one. So you can see Zephy's running double water, and I was fairly confident that he was going to pop double water in this fight. So that's why I led with the Raichu, hoping to catch one of them, and we caught the Umbreon. So a bit of hard work coming up for us now. So we got one shield each, which is nice. I'm hoping, and I just don't get to that Thunder Punch. So one shield each. It's not the end of the world, but I'm forced to show my hand with my Ninetails now. We're a bit lower on health, even on shield, so he's got switch advantage. And there is the Vaporeon. So you can see Vaporeon's doing a lot of damage here. Aquatails, so I shouldn't have shielded. I really thought he was going to throw the last resort. So we're down to our last, and he's got Bibarel. And what have I got in the background? Not the Mon to take out a Bibarel. Out comes my boy Larion. So he did run double water, but he wasn't going to lead with the water. So I was kind of right, but I didn't. If I was that confident he was doing double water, I shouldn't have taken Larion. I should have thrown in the Umbreon. So then, all right, last matchup. This is for the win. And we don't get the lead. So I tried to switch there to catch the Gyro Ball or Ice Punch. Didn't get it. So then we switched. So now we're locked in with our Bib, which is not good because I don't have anything left that's going to beat Sand Slash. So Bibarel was the only thing I had for that Sand Slash, and now I've just sacrificed him. So a bit of a silly play on my part. Yeah, could have just gone to something else, kept the Bibarel hidden, but you know, now Bibarel's gone, Umbreon still there. I'm going to have a bit of energy, I guess, stored up on this Ninetails. But yeah, so we switch, and he switches blind, which is kind of good, I guess. But in the end, he actually does a lot more damage than I would have thought. So throw the Thunder Punch, sort up a bit of extra energy, hoping that, you know, then it'll finish him off. But I can't get to that energy. I've used all my shields, so Ice Punch takes me out. I should have used Psyshock here, but either way, it's still not going to do enough damage. And we go down to a Gyro Ball. So well done, Zephy. Went through this one undefeated. I went 4-1. Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you for Timeless Cup, which is looking awesome. I'll have another video out on my practice matches of Timeless Cup shortly. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next video.